What's up there, YouTube, and all my Charlie Grynners? I have yet to actually really introduce myself and my whole character, really, behind Charlie Gryn. So, let me get myself ready and all that. Yeah, things are gonna be a little deep. So give me a minute to smoke and get myself ready. Trying to find my lighter here. Okay. As such, my real name is Jerry Cox. And yes, it's spelled as COX, not any way else. And it does sound funny, but yeah, that is my name. I've been bullied about my name so many times. I've heard it all. It does not bother me. Anyway, let me get to my senses and whatnot. The reason behind Charlie Gryn. It all starts back when I was 12 years old. 13 years old. As you can tell, I'm, already getting kind of choked up talking about it. But, I was a victim of child abuse as a young adolescent. I was stripped away from my family at the age of 12, 13 years old after my grandmother passed away. Oh, let's see. I was in 04. I'm 29 now. So yeah, I was 13 years old. Now, mind you, my grandmother, was literally a saint to this world. She would do anything for anybody. She would, no matter what anybody has done, that woman had always had faith in Jesus Christ. And I know I lost my faith in him quite a few times. Quite a few times in my life. And I lost, my faith in him as a child, going through all that turmoil. And not only, the child abuse that I had to deal with, but going to a school that didn't really fucking care about me. Didn't really care how the hell I was, being treated at home. Being bullied to the highest extent in school. Just because I was the smallest and the newest kid on the block. But, funny story. When I was living in Missouri at the time, this kid, got kid's name now, but this kid, one of the biggest bullies in school, decided to try to take a fucking pencil out of my binder during breakfast. I ended up beating the fucking shit out of that kid. Little me, weighing maybe about soaking wet, maybe 80 fucking pounds. 90 maybe. And this kid maybe is about my height now, 5'8". That was about maybe I don't know, shorter than what I am now. But weighing about almost 200 fucking pounds. And I beat the fucking shit out of him. Cause that was all the fucking pain and shit that I had to deal with at home. Which honestly led me to with my brother at the time. Cause he was not as abused as what I was. But he was also, pretty abused by my mom's fiance at the time. And well, we decided with some friends that we met in school to get together and actually start backyard wrestling and have our little league and whatnot. And that's kind of where like my first starting of what it felt like taking bumps on the ground felt like. Being hit with fucking, different objects that we found, just to fuck around with and all that. And I'll even show you straight up. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a scar right there. From when I first got hit with the damn 2x4. That hurt. Especially being, so little at the time and fucking taking a shot like that. That fucking hurt. But, that's how I express my fucking pain. You know what I'm saying? And throughout the years, I stopped wrestling and whatnot. I, still watched it, throughout the years and whatnot, I moved from place to place and such. And at times I didn't have cable, so I couldn't really watch it. But like I still kept up with, dirt sheets and like just different friends that I met, that also love wrestling and shit. And as I went through high school, I met my best friend that literally is my soul brother. And he's not blood by any means, but he could be as such, if not closer. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, like when we met in school, he was intimidated by me because I was a pure gothic person going through high school. And he was pretty he was gothic and shit as well. He was an outcast, so to speak, too. And it's funny, like I said, like we kind of had that intimidation between each other, and like that's how we met, and that's how we bonded, you know what I'm saying? And through, me telling him that I was a huge professional wrestling fan too, like he drew me into his family. And this is kind of also where the whole Charlie Gryn name came about. Is I also do a haunted house here in my hometown of Market Heights called Spook Hollow. And I didn't really have a name when I first started out. When I started in 2011. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really have a name or didn't really have a identity to, my character, being involved with it. And I brought my buddy Matt along with me, to help me, scare and volunteer and shit. And he came up with the name Charlie Gryn. And the backstory is, alright, short story, because it's a long, drawn out story, but short speaking, it's about a kid being tormented to death through family, life, whatever. Ends up going to a mental asylum. And nonetheless becomes a clown, so to speak. Like, he nonetheless laughs himself to death. But Charlie has stayed in that asylum for years until he broken out of said asylum. And then ended up in the woods of Spook Hollow. But anyway, I now play as a psychotic clown in my haunted house and whatnot. So I would love to see, any of y'all come out to Market Heights, experience Spook Hollow, because it's a phenomenal thing to really go through. But yeah, I'd say though, like my first experience watching professional wrestling, I was 4 years old, And I seen, different tapes that VHS tapes, and if like I know I grew up in the 90s still with VH tapes and whatnot, and I'd watch like just countless of different Monday Night Raws and all that. But the one true guy besides Vince McMahon, besides you, Vince McMahon, yes, I do. I humble myself a bit to you in the fact that you gave me that passion, you know? And also, and if you can't believe it in your darkened soul that you got, that's what God gave us too. That's what Jesus Christ gave us. But, the other guy that stood out, that drew me to professional wrestling, was The Undertaker. Like, I was so in awe when I first seen the casket match at Royal Rumble in '94. The whole match, the whole build-up, the whole story of that match, and especially the ending of the first evolution of Taker's gimmick. When he rose from that casket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was never seen before in professional wrestling. Like, seeing someone, like, being risen out of a casket. Like an aura, like a fucking spirit of some sort being risen to the skies above, and hearing Paul Bearer's voice through all that, shining that urn up above, at Taker's spirit, that is what fucking drew me to professional wrestling, and this is why I want to make a channel like this, because, like, I'm sorry, Vince, but you lost touch. You lost touch with professional wrestling, man. And it's shown throughout the years. Within 2.5 decades, really. And it's not, like I said, it's not just me that sees it. It's millions of fans that you lost that sees it, Vince. Now, I hope videos like this of a professional wrestling fan of 26 years, reaches out to others. And, wonders why certain people get involved with, certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they've got so many messed up lives that they go through. And they put their lives away just for that fucking passion that you helped create. So, with that being said, like I said, this is my introduction to my first ever experience to YouTube and whatnot. So, I hope this whole progress and this whole new chapter in my life keeps growing. Because, I mean, like I said, I love professional wrestling, and I want to see it grow. So, with that being said, I'm outie.